away for a few weeks, and I said to him on the camp one day, I said, listen, you know, you've done all the hard work. Let's get you out there. I said, what you got in your case? So, I've got this lovely dress. I've got this. I said, right, you're going to come out there. You're going to be my manageress. And you know, I just told her things I wanted to do. And she went out there, and it was Canvas Sands. I always remember Canvas Sands.
Yes.
Massive, great holiday park, and she tore the roof off. It was like she was a natural. It's like she was born to the business, you know, and she was a sensation. And so I then told Jimmy. We then rang up the promoters and said about the sensational new girl we'd found. And I said to all the promoters, look, listen, I'm going to give it to you once for nothing. I said, so I'll guarantee you want her back. And I was right every time. Every promoter we took her to, they wanted her back. You know what I mean? And she become a sensation in her own right. She was brilliant.
Absolutely, and then the Superflies were born along with the Sweet Saraya, who, as everybody will now know, obviously, she's gone on to massive success herself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many years to go through here. We couldn't possibly talk about everything. I mean, we're talking 7 days a week for 20 years.
Yeah.
So I'll just hit you with some most memorable moments. Can you think of some specific moments during those times with Brian and Max?
The most memorable, you can stand out forever, is when we actually won the titles at Colston Hall. It was 1989, and we was on with Ben and McCoy, and all the way down there, you know, we just kept saying, what we want to do, and this and that and the other, and it was packed out. I mean, they always were in them days, but we done 48 minutes in the tag, and you know, when we went over, it was amazing, because me and Jimmy, you know, we a bit like my daughter for the years. We've done all the graft, done all the hard work. We were star makers. We always thought we were star makers. To be honest, Steve, you know what I mean? We were star makers rather than the stars. And I was quite happy to do that, because I just wanted to wrestle. I was like you. I just wanted to wrestle. I didn't care if I went over, I didn't go over. I just wanted to be in there. The crowd was what I buzzed off. It wasn't, you know, so much as the results and everything else. But this particular night, when we went over on Ben and McCoy, and we were the best tag team in the country at the time, it was amazing, and me and Jimmy just couldn't believe it, you know. And overnight, we've just come overnight sensations by it as well. And again, I thank Brian for that, because it was Brian who created us, you know.
Yep. Memorable matches during this time? Who were some of the guys you was working with regularly?
Obviously, Robbie and Doc. I mean, amazing tag team. You know, they could have got a better babyface tag team against the two ugliest geezers in wrestling. Yeah. And they were two ultimate baby faces. You know, the women loved them, the kids loved them, everyone loved them. And you had those two ugly buggers from Norfolk, you know what I mean? They were just so right for us, you know. And
I loved Doc. I loved working with the Doc. I thought it was tremendous.
Worker, actually sensational. And, you know, bless his heart. And, you know, Robbie and stuff. And it was just a great time, and the matches we had with them was absolutely brilliant. I mean, I can go to St George's Hall, Liverpool one night. It was sold out capacity, and it was a match between us and them, and you know, the chance of Liverpool, it's like being in the Coppin. It was deafening, you know, and it was just amazing. And of course, the other two was Ben and McCoy. I always thank Ben and McCoy for that match at Bristol when we won the titles. It was 48 minutes. I said, them guys, they worked their hearts out. They worked their hearts out to make us look good. They made the work out to put the actual wrestling over. They were fantastic guys, you know, and I can never thank them enough, you know, because they were just great people, you know, and they helped make our career. And you know, so many guys, you know, in them days would help you more than hinder you. You know, there were some great people around. I do miss them days, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, obviously, when you was working for Brian is renowned now for having so many Americans over. I mean, he gets them before they're famous. Obviously, they come over here to learn. Yeah. Can you think of some Americans and Japanese guys that you've worked with that have gone on to become mega famous?
Well, I was just thinking about it last week. I was actually met, he's Fuji Hamada here. He's now Juice from Thunder Liger.
Yeah.
And I actually was on a show with him last week, and it was like 20 odd years since we last wrestled, you know. And to go in there, and Kojima, he was there as well, and they actually remembered. That was really nice. I walked in, and Kojima, when he went, Ricky Knight, and Jimmy Olsen, straight away. I remember Jimmy Olsen. It's like, is that a nice remembrance of him, or is that not? You know what I mean? And they were just great people. And obviously, I've worked, you know, with some great Americans as well, Jake the Snake, and Earthquake and Marty Jannetty and people like that. So I've been lucky, and the biggest thing for me is working with Dynamite Kid, you know, ultimate greatest wrestler, in my opinion, this country sent out. He's fantastic. And even though I worked with him at the end of his career, the heat and the thing we got working together was fantastic. Great worker, you know. And, yeah, I've been lucky. I've wrestled with some great people, you know, and they made me look $1 million, you know.
Nah, don't worry. I think sometimes you've made them look $1 million as well. So,
well, I hope I play my part, but I mean, I've always said, you know, I'm more, you know, when it comes to wrestling ability, I'm more of a showman, but you know, I can wrestle, but I've always been a showman. A bit like yourself, really. You know what I mean? Always,
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
I mean, you could have been my brother, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Who does less and get most heat? That was all my say.
I think we used to have competitions for that.
Especially we were together. I remember it was a good match with you at Norwich, mate. And we used to have them ranting out the aisles, and we hadn't touched for about 10 minutes.
I was watching that yesterday, actually. Yeah, great memories.
Oh, they were great. And the old get to the top rope bit and get Bird to go and all that. I mean, it's just what I'm saying. I think that's the thing we're missing from. I was just saying to some of my students the other night, in the old British style, there's always that little bit of comedy, you know. Even in the heat of the battle, I remember Colson or Bristol that night when we won the titles. It was so serious, and the kid McCoy was bleeding like hell. There's blood coming out everywhere, and Jimmy's going, tag me, Rick, and he's swaying on the rope. You know what I mean? Suddenly falls into the ring and stuff like that. And one comedy spot in the whole match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was just how it was. There's always that little bit of comedy in it, and I always found you were yourself. You was a prototype sort of British wrestler. You know what I mean? That's how I like to think. We give them a little bit of humour, we give them a little bit of everything, you know, and I think that's how it should be.
I think so. Yeah, I agree with you. I think people are sometimes afraid to put humour in, aren't they? For fear of coming across as looking a bit silly.
That's
but
right.
I think, you know, to blow our own horn a little bit, I don't think we ever did a show, me or you, where we didn't get heat.
No.
You know, no matter what we was doing, I don't think we ever did a show where we didn't get heat.
Because, as I said, I was for you and you like me, I never worried about who I followed because I'd do my own stuff. You know, I knew I could do what I do and still get heat, so I never worried about following anybody or nothing. And also, I just quite enjoy it. I just love the crowd. I loved everything about it. You know, I mean, I still, you know, you can hear now, I still love the business as much as I did then. You know, I'm 61 now, and I just still love it as much as I did back then. It's just something gets in your blood, and you can't get rid of, you know.
Now, one thing that you are, which I am not, though, Paddy, is a pretty hard chap, pretty tasty fella outside the ring.
Yeah.
And I know that you and Jimmy got into quite a few scrapes outside the ring. Can you tell us about any in particular?
What, against each other? Or against
no, I'm sure against each other.
I can tell when the times used to be tough and used to get attacked by the fans and stuff, you know what I mean? And
what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, one night Julia was doing the manageress at Maidstone, and we was on with Robbie Brookside and Ivan Travers. I think Doc was gone somewhere, maybe Germany somewhere. So Ivan Travers in the match. Anyway, we were at this place that packed out Maidstone. It was a like old cattle market, like the old Norwich used to be. And we turned the Ivan Travers round. We're working, and I think, God, it's suspicious heat. We're really getting to him. And I turn round, and there's about 20 traveller women got hold of my wife outside the ring. You know what I mean? So I remember Mel Mason running down to help her out and basically sticking in between his glasses all over his head. So then the bloke started, we're fighting. I mean, actually fighting with the crowd. And then I always remember Steve Pringle come running down, put me missus over his shoulder, took her back to town, but she was ripped to pieces. She was going everywhere. I mean, Skull Murphy actually ripped her dress off and just poured all this antiseptic stuff down all the claw marks and that.
Wow.
So anyway, we go outside and, I go outside and they're waiting for me and my missus. And there must have been 60, 70 of them. So I just driven my car straight at them. I think one went over the bonnet, but they're just gone, you know what I mean? And we've got so many situations like that, you know. I've been stabbed and everything in the old days. It was just mental, you know. And it's bad to think now how people used to react, because nowadays they're all pretty smart, aren't they? You know what I mean? But in those days, they still 100% believe it, you know, and wanted to attack you and wanted to kill you and stuff like that, you know.
I miss that. It used to be so. Yeah, I remember doing a show at Hull Beach once. That used to really kick off, didn't it?
Oh, definitely. I remember I was on Dick Harris, you know, Dick was a local hero, wasn't he?
Yeah.
One night I'm on with Dick, and it's kicked off and everything else, and it's really gone mad, and all the crowd had come out and rushing out. My mate's outside with his car with the doors open. Me and Saraya dived in and shot off. It's just in the wrestling gear and everything. It got so bad, you know what I mean? It was manic, you know.
I was on with James Mason one night, and this guy's giving it some, and he put his missus put a face on the bottom of the ring, so I went to like kick it, but not to kick her, and the ring rope hit her under the bottom of the chin. So her boyfriend went to jump into the ring, so I pushed him off the ring. Next thing, they're all trying to get in the ring. So Dick Harrison came out and everybody, and we all went back into the changing rooms. Next thing I know, there's an ambulance noise outside. I'm like, what's happened? Nothing's really kicked off too much. And they're dragging this bloke out in an ambulance, and Dale Preston comes in and says to me, that old bloke's got so wound up he's had a heart attack. Can you go and apologise to his family? I said, no, I'm not apologising. I've done my job. Give me a pay rise.
That's right. Yeah.
Great time.
I had a similar one at Ipswich one night. I was on with that was when I was on with Dynamite Kid, and they kicked off. Jimmy was my manager outside, so I went out to try and help Jimmy, and he gave him all the fire extinguisher. He got a fire extinguisher, grabbing a fire extinguisher, and we're fighting, actually literally fighting to get out of the hall, and I felt this punch in my back, so I didn't even look round. I just back kicked whoever I thought it was. I looked round, there's this geezer in a wheelchair going across the room 100 miles an hour. You can imagine that really going, Night, you bastard, you know, eating cripples. It made it worse, you know what I mean? We were fighting like lunatic. Oh, it's funny now. At the time, it's like, we're going to get out of it, Jimbo, or what? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the funny stuff.
Tremendous. Right. What made you decide to start your own promotion, WAW?
Well, I mean, I still love Brian, you know, and I've worked with Brian for years, and I still see Brian as a pal in that. When we won the belts in '89, we suddenly realised there's no belts, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking this is the biggest promotion, you know, in Europe. You know, Brian at the time, I mean, we weren't like the company as it is now, was it? Sort of Brian, Max, and a couple of others, wasn't it, really? We weren't like the company, so I'm thinking, well, so me and Jim went and had these belts made, you know what I mean? And then, like, they got some shows, they started putting on championship matches first and all this, and I'm thinking, you know, and it's just the general way that the guys were being treated, you know, it's just like, well, you know, it's no need to treat people like this, so I decided to start a promotion. Funny enough, it's a year you've done an interview with us. I think it's '89 you've done an interview. It was,
yeah. You've got a great memory, Paddy.
Yeah, we talked about WAW in the thing.
Yeah.
And, and the first show we actually done was, we decided to do a charity show, which was for Brian Gunn, a Norwich keeper at the time. His daughter had leukemia. So that was our first show called Award 94, and it was a real success. I mean, it was like, you know, we had all the people, the top guys on at the time. We had the cheerleaders. We done everything. We come to the old Cornwall. You know, worked in Norwich Cornwall, right old Carsey, to this nightclub with the lasers and the things. We put on a great show. You know what I mean? And cheerleaders around it, and it just took off. Everyone was going, blimey, you know, this sort of new wave of promotions, I think. But now we're the old promotions. Everyone's left us behind. You know what I mean? But at that time we were the new wave sort of thing, and that took off. And you know, we try to, you know, make the belts special. Even now, when we have a championship match, we still have the round system. We still do the fanfares. We still have the national anthems. You know what I mean? We still do all that to make the belt special. And stuff like that, because I believe, you know, I mean, look at, if you see him with Paige the other night, when she won, I don't know if you see the backstage bit where they show her backstage and she's crying and stuff, that meant something to her, because she's always been taught belts mean something. You earn belts. All right, we're in the moody business, whatever people want to call it, and this and that and the other, but you've got to earn that belt still. You're still seen as the best, even, you know what I mean? I mean, when me and Jimmy got them belts, as far as Brian was concerned, we were the best tag team around at that time. You know, and he thought we could carry them belts, and to us that was an honour. And what I'm saying, I instill into my guys is when you get a belt, it's an honour, you know. Some see it as a prop.